Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you 3 different methods on how you can create the vocal stutter or trance gate effect. It's a very simple but very effective technique that you can use that has been becoming very popular recently. To make this effect, I chose this audio sample from Splice. It sounds like this. The way this effect works is by basically chopping the sample in small parts. So in Ableton, one of the easiest way of making the effect is using an auto pan effect. When you first get the effect, it's going to have these settings, and as I play, you're going to see it doesn't make that much of a difference. So first thing you want to do is you want to set the amount to a high level. You have to use your ears. I usually use it at 100%. With the rate, you can go both ways. You can put it on hertz and then use your ear to set the rate of how fast you want the effect to be. Or you can also choose the notes icon and choose a set rate. The second thing is changing the phase. In this case, we're going to set it to 0 and we're going to change the shape to a triangle. For example, if we make it faster, we can also change a bit the shape, so it becomes a bit more aggressive. And you can experiment with different shapes, of course. You can get very cool textures with this. If you lower the amount, it's gonna let more of the original sample go through. This is already sounding great. We have the idea of the effect. To make it a bit smoother, you can add maybe some reverb, for example. You could also add an echo or delay effect just to make each chop a bit smoother. Okay, so the second way of doing this effect is by automating the volume manually. One of the ways of doing this in Ableton would be using a utility plugin, and you're gonna automate the gain knob. And then right-click, show automation. To have the same effect that we had before, I'm gonna set the grid to 1/16, and then you can manually draw each chop, which is basically copying the same shape that we had before. This method gives you more control over the shape, but it's also a lot more time consuming. After adding an echo and reverb, this would sound like this. The third method for this is using a trigger. This is going to be a MIDI channel with a very, very short sound, and then you're going to draw in the pattern that you want the vocal to follow. So right now the trigger channel sounds like this. Very short, snappy, clicky sound. On the vocal track, you're going to put a gate. You can find this effect in any DAW. You will have the equivalent. In the gate effect, you're going to choose audio from the trigger, then you're going to lower the threshold. And then the vocal is now going to sound like this. As you can see, this is already giving us a similar result to what we had before. The thing I like about this method is that you can get more creative with the pattern for the stutter or trance gate effect. For example, if we make this pattern, now the vocal is going to sound like this. You can tweak the release or the attack for different results. Use your ear, but usually I like to have a short attack and a short release. Then you can add the other similar effects, for example like this. I am now going to create a short track to see how it would sound in context. Okay, so those were 3 different methods on how to create the vocal stutter or trance gate effect. As you can see, it's very simple. You can do it in any DAW. You just have to follow the same principles. I hope you learned something new today. If you did, you can like the video, comment, or even subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video.